Hey everybody, what's up? It's TJ. You guys, today I am going over 18 items to help you start your emergency food storage. Okay, now this is for beginners. We all have been there. So you guys, when you see somebody that's just now starting, there's no need to make fun of them or anything like that because we all had our starting points, okay? It's just that some people need a nudge, something to make them see that they need to be preparing. But this is the most simplest list I could put together and it not be overwhelming, okay? Now, this also is going to depend on how long you're prepping for. Some people are prepping for a couple weeks, 3 months, 6 months, and a year, and more. Right now, my goal is a year, but you guys do you. It's however much you want, however long you want to do it for. But these are also items you would put in storage and rotate, okay? So if you need something out of it, you take it out, put it in your regular, everyday, useful cabinet that you use out of, and then you go back to the store and replace that one item in your prepper pantry. There we go. So, yeah, that's how you do that. The 18 items. So we're going to go ahead and start this. Number 1, I would say, people say less than this, but I'm going to go more, and I'll tell you why. 2 gallons of water per person per day. It's a lot of water because you want to have enough to cook with, you want to have enough to drink, you want to have enough to wash the dishes afterwards. Okay? And if you want to bathe, you may want to consider more than that. Okay? Or come up with some kind of system for that. All right. That's the most important, y'all. You got to have your water. All right, so let's move on to the food. 20 pounds of rice that needs to be white rice, okay, because it stores longer. You can make that rice last for a very long time. I have videos on it. I like to freeze it first. To me, this is the easiest method. Freeze it first for about a week. You don't have to do that long, but you know, at least 3 days, okay? I usually do about a week, just to make sure. Then I'll take my canning jars, sterilize them, dry them out in the oven upside down, take them out, fill it with my rice, and vacuum seal it. When you do that, you do not have to have an oxygen absorber. Okay? Now, if you want to do it with Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers, by all means, knock yourself out. That method is fine, but I personally would rather put them in jars. That's just me, because I've had so much trouble. You guys know that when you're using oxygen absorbers, they'll say so much for a gallon size, for instance. I think it's like 800. But if what you're putting in there has got a lot of air in it, like for instance, you're doing cereal, that comes in a box cereal, it's going to take more than that. Okay? These are the things I'm finding out as I've been using this kind of stuff. So, to me, I just like using my jars. And every time I go to a yard sale or a thrift store, that's on the top of my list of what I look for are jars. So, that's how I do that. All right, 20 pounds of beans. You guys, that could be black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, white beans, any kind of beans you want. That is going to... It has a lot of protein in it, y'all. Okay? It's very important for your diet. No matter how you eat them. With the pinto beans, you can make refried beans out of. Or whatever. You guys, there's so many things you can do to prep. But most people are like, I didn't know you could do that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Like prepping crackers and things like that. You do them, you can do those in jars as well. Okay. So having crackers to dip into, you know, refried beans or whatever is doable. Or, some kind of chip type thing. 24 cans of meat. If there's a canned meat you do not like, do not buy it. Okay? Whatever that is, I personally don't like spam, so I don't buy it. A lot of people do like it, and that's fine. Hey, if you like it, get it, okay? But you need to get a variety in there going. But you guys, this list is just to get you started. You can reuse this list a couple of times to get your stock up, okay? Like, say, for instance, you have 4 people in your family. You're going to want more than 20 pounds of rice to last you for a good while, okay? I have personally about around 200 pounds. So, that give you an idea. And with the canned meats, you guys, that's either store-bought or doing it yourself. Okay? You think about it. If you're eating meat 3 times a day, and a family is going to eat off of 1 can for 1 meal. So if you're buying the little cans from the store, you're not going to get as much. If you're doing it yourself, you're getting much more, okay? 3 times a day, 24 cans. That's not very much when you look at it like that, okay? So like I said, this stuff is just to get you started. Those meats is something you need to work on hard. You need to hit it hard. This is a starting point, okay? 24 cans of vegetables. You're going to need a whole lot more than that, too. Like I said, it's just to get you started and buy different kinds, you guys. Don't just go and buy a whole bunch of green beans or a whole bunch of corn, because you're going to want variety in your diet, trust me. Okay, trust me. 24 cans of soup or broth to make soup with. Different kinds, y'all. Different kinds. And with that, you can also include stuff like beef stew. You guys, if you take 1 can, the big cans of Dinty Moore beef stew, and you make 2 cups of rice. Not after, before you cook it, 2 cups of rice. So when you're done, you've got 4 cups. You divide that up, pour some beef stew over it, and you have a big meal. It goes a whole lot further. So that's the whole idea with rice, is making your food go so much further. And of course, you can can your own beef stew as well. Okay. 24 large cans of spaghetti sauce. 24. And this is only to get you started. You could do a lot with spaghetti sauce. A whole lot. Okay. I have a video on making tortillas. And you could take those and make them. They're really easy to make, y'all. There's nothing hard. Make them. Put them in the oven. Like a pizza. You put your spaghetti sauce on it. Some of your meat. You can make your own cheese to put on the top. Okay? That's talking a little bit further into your preps. You have to have powdered milk to do that with. Whole powdered milk, not skim milk or 2% milk. Or you have to have a whole. That's why I buy whole milk when I go and buy powdered milk. So, but yeah, there's lots of things you can do. 2 pounds of peanut butter. But you're going to want a whole lot more than that, trust me. So, like I said, all this is just to get you started. 5 pounds of salt. You use salt for seasoning and to cure meat and things like that. You also use it in your canning. Okay. 10 pounds of pancake mix. Of course, if you want to do it homemade, you can. But having the pre-made stuff, which isn't going to last as long as it, would doing just flour, but it makes it easier for someone in the family that doesn't know how to make something homemade like that to be able to make something for themselves and help out. Okay. You're going to want 10 boxes. I can't remember how many ounces it is. About 10 boxes of pasta. Any kind of pasta you want to go with that. There's 24 cans of spaghetti sauce. 1 gallon of cooking oil. That's just a starter, y'all. You're going to need a whole lot more. And I personally would go with olive oil. I use vegetable oil too, but olive oil is the best. It keeps longer as well. But when we go back to those pancakes, you guys, you don't have to have syrup with that. You can use some of that peanut butter for a topping, and of course jellies or whatever. But if you put peanut butter on it, it's more nutritional. Okay, you get a much more nutritional value out of it. All right. Spices. Any spices you like, you better get it. Okay. You don't want to have to do without taste. I know I don't. I don't like bland foods. I like a little bit kick to everything. A can opener. You guys, I do not recommend stocking up on canned foods that have the flip top, because they do not last as long, and those seals can be broken so much easier than the kind you have to actually open with a can opener. So if you got a choice, only buy those kinds. But if all you can get is the flip top, then by all means, get it, okay? 25 pounds of flour or wheat. Okay? If you buy wheat, you need to get a grinder to make it into flour. Buying the flour, you don't have to have the grinder, okay? However, if you buy the wheat, it lasts much longer than the flour. Now, all-purpose flour, you can make it last for about 30 years if you oven can it. I have videos on that. 24 cans of fruit. You have to have some kind of fruit in your diet. That'd be great snacks for kids as well. So 24. It's whether you do it yourself or you buy them at the store like that. 5 boxes of baking powder. You guys can store that as well. Try to make it last a lot longer. You seal it and everything, okay? And that is it, you guys. That is my 18. And with the flour and the, I forgot one. 5 jars of yeast. You know, the jars that you can buy. You guys, they will keep, okay, for years in your freezer. Or you can seal them up with, without air. So you can do anything. But with the yeast and the baking powder and the flour, you can make bread. So you better write down your recipes, okay? And start practicing. Just in case, y'all. But that's my 18. I will talk to you guys later. Y'all have an awesome day. Don't forget to hit that like button. Share and subscribe, y'all. Bye-bye.